What is up guys, Julien here of Social Vignerons. Welcome back to another wine video. This is episode number 4 of Julien's 3.5 minute wine school. So far in the previous episodes we've seen how to uncork a bottle of wine in a nice and effective manner. We've seen how to pour a bottle of wine in a bit of a classy way. But now today we are going to be answering the whole important question of how much wine should you be serving yourself to enjoy your wine better, or how much wine should you serve your guests when you're having a dinner party at home. So this is going to be depending on two main factors that we are going to be exploring. It's going to be depending on who you are and what you are trying to do. It's also going to be depending on the type of glass that you are going to be using. But we are also going to be simply exploring how much wine yourself you should be pouring to enjoy your glassware, to enjoy your wine to the fullest. So depending on who you are going to be wanting to serve different serving sizes. If you are a winery, for example, or a wine shop offering free wine tasting samples for people to decide whether they want to buy the wine and taste the wine before they buy it, you are going to be wanting to maximize the number of servings that you are going to be able to pour out of one single bottle, because hey, you're offering them for free. So a serving at a winery that is offering free tasting samples is probably going to be looking something like that. Rather small, but you still want people to be able to feel comfortable with the amount of wine that they've got. You know, you don't want it too tiny, and you still want people to be able to taste the wine, have a couple of sips, and this is definitely enough for just tasting the wine for a couple of times. That's definitely going to be enough. If you are a bartender, there is a standard serving size that is about 5 fluid ounces or 150 milliliters. This is for a rather simple reason. A standard bottle of wine is 25 fluid ounces or 750 ml. So with the standard 150 ml 5 ounces standard serving size, you are going to be able to pour 5 servings out of one single bottle. So some restaurants go a little bit above, up to 6 fluid ounces, because they're feeling generous. They want their customers to be happy and go back to them. And that's especially true for wine tasting restaurants or wine bars. But some restaurants have gone a bit under, to up to 125 milliliters, about 4 ounces, and you know, that's just because they want to save up on the serving, but also sometimes around the drive and drinking problem. You may be wondering, well, I just want to know how much wine. I like to enjoy my wine at home. I'm a casual wine drinker. How much wine should I be pouring in my glass of wine? Well, this is mainly going to depend on the type of glass that you are using. Let's illustrate with this type first. Essentially, you want to be pouring up to the point where the curve of the glass on the side of the glass here, and I'm sure you can see it, the curve of the glass changes direction. So on a glass like this one, this is going to be looking like this. See, you want to pour up to this point here where the curve of the glass starts changing direction, and this is for a simple reason. This is going to allow you to swirl your wine rather nicely and rather firmly and comfortably. And this is for a simple reason, because the glass, that's the point where the glass starts closing up towards the aperture. So when you swirl your wine, the wine is just going to stay around the glass. It's going to go around, but it's going to stay inside the glass. If you pour much more wine than this, just like this, for example, and I guess, you know, again, it depends who you are, what you're trying to achieve. If you are just trying to drink as much wine as possible, you know, a pour like this or a pour like this is probably going to be what you want to be going for. But for tasting the wine, and especially for swirling the wine, this is not really practical. There's a huge chance of spilling the wine everywhere, and you can't really swirl the wine. Depending on the type of wine glass that you are using, the amount of wine that you're actually going to be serving to your guests is probably going to vary, at least if you want to respect and allow them to swirl their wine properly. And this is also why restaurants and some merchants use smaller glasses, because the standard serving size is going to look bigger on the smaller glass, and it's going to fill up the glass much more. But if we take a relatively small glass like this, you want to be pouring your wine up to around this point. So you can see that this is a relatively small amount of wine. Also, wine tasters, professional wine tasters, use this type of smaller glass because you can spread and you can serve more tasters with one bottle than if you're using huge pouring. So again, you just want to go around this point, and as you can see, this is going to allow me to swirl the wine properly. If you take a bit of a flatter type of wine glass like this one, well, the amount is going to be relatively small as well, and that's why also this type of wine glasses is really nice, because you get with a small amount of wine you get a really flat but big large surface, and you can see how I can swirl the wine really nicely in this type of wine, in this type of glass, I should say. Now there is going to be an exception to this rule, and this is going to be if you're using this type of large bowl of a wine glass. Obviously on here, if you fill up your wine glass up to this curving point of the glass, you are going to empty half of the bottle for yourself, which again you may be wanting to do, but generally speaking that's not exactly how you would want to use those glasses. So on a glass like this, well, you still want to serve a reasonable amount, so just stay reasonable in the amount that you are serving, and you can see how in such a wine glass the swirling is absolutely easy and superb. And this type of wine glasses, and that's why I love them, allows you to concentrate the aromas inside the glass fantastically, and you can really analyze each and every note with an extreme precision. So here we go. I hope this answered the simple, at the end of the day, simple question. The answer of that question is rather simple. I hope this video has helped you answer that simple question and has helped you gain confidence on how much wine you should pour to your guests when you're having dinner parties for maximum enjoyment and maximizing your tasting experience, everyone tasting's experience. This is a wonderful world of wine. I will see you tomorrow probably with why and how we should swirl the wine, and we'll answer that question tomorrow with the next episode. I will see you soon in the wonderful world of wine. Cheers. Santé. In the next video, next episode, we are going to be exploring how to swirl your wine better and why we do it, why it is important. So I will explain this in the next video, so stay tuned to the channel for this.